Am I the a-hole for refusing to press charges against my neighbor after she secretly lived in my apartment for months? I'm a man in my 20s, and I live alone on the top floor of an apartment building. For months, something strange kept happening. I would find long brunette hairs all over my apartment. And when I say all over, I mean everywhere. The bathroom floor, the shower, the kitchen, my couch, my bedroom, even inside my sock drawer. The weird part? I've had short hair for years. The hairs definitely weren't mine. At first, I convinced myself there was a reasonable explanation. Maybe they were getting stuck to my clothes at work, the gym, or on the bus. But the hairs kept showing up. Then one morning, everything changed. I had just finished an early gym workout when I got a call telling me I didn't need to come into work that day. Excited to have a free day, I headed home. I lived on the 5th floor, and there was only one apartment on that floor, mine. As I walked up the final flight of stairs, I suddenly saw my neighbor's daughter coming down from my floor. We locked eyes. I had barely ever spoken to her before. I gave her a confused hello. She quietly said hi and walked right past me. But as she passed, I noticed something. Her hair was soaking wet, and it smelled exactly like my shampoo. Immediately, my mind started racing. Maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe she had knocked on my door for something. Maybe I was overthinking. But then I got to my apartment. My door was unlocked. I always double lock my door, every single time. I opened it and rushed inside. The shower was wet. I hadn't used it since the day before. At that point, I knew something wasn't right, so I went downstairs and knocked on her family's door. She answered. I asked if she had been inside my apartment. Without hesitation, she said she had needed to get something and that it wouldn't happen again. Then she shut the door. That was it. No explanation, no denial, nothing. After that, I changed my locks, installed a motion sensor camera outside my apartment, and started cleaning the place thoroughly every weekend. The camera never caught her returning, but I couldn't stop thinking about what had happened. How long had she been doing this? Why? Had she really been inside my apartment all that time? Update. I decided to speak with my cousin's husband, who happens to be a police officer. He came over, listened to everything, and collected some of the hairs that were still around my apartment. He told me not to confront the family anymore while he looked into it. A few days later, he got answers. And honestly, the truth was even stranger than I expected. When police spoke with her, she immediately confessed. Apparently, she had been entering my apartment since January, for nearly 5 months. How did she get inside? She had secretly gotten copies of my apartment keys made. A locksmith mistakenly believed she had authorization and created keys for both of my locks. So while I thought my apartment was secure, she had unrestricted access the entire time. But why was she doing it? According to her, she simply wanted a quiet place to be alone. She lived with younger siblings, her mother worked from home, and there were always people around. So instead of going to a library or another public space, she decided to use my apartment as her personal getaway. While I was at work, she would relax there, study, eat my food, and spend the day as if it were her own place. The reason she picked my apartment? Because she knew my schedule. I left early every morning for the gym and then went to work. She knew exactly when I would be gone. And then I learned the creepiest part of all. She had hidden an AirTag under my car. That's how she tracked me. When she saw I had left the gym but my car wasn't heading toward work, she realized I was coming home early. That's why she rushed out of the shower and almost escaped before I arrived. Almost. She also admitted that she had used my shower. She had slept in my bed. And yes, she had even worn some of my clothes. Her parents were horrified. Both of them apologized repeatedly. Her father even offered to pay for my camera, my new locks, and any expenses I had because of what happened. The daughter apparently locked herself in her room and was terrified I would press charges. A lot of people told me I should, but after thinking about it, I decided not to. I was angry, especially about the AirTag, but her family was genuinely apologetic, and I didn't feel like anybody would benefit from dragging the situation through court. I still wanted an apology, but I chose not to pursue legal action. One thing I did learn from all of this: check the devices connected to your Wi-Fi. If I had done that sooner, I would have noticed her phone and laptop connected to my network months earlier. I changed my passwords, removed her devices, replaced my locks, and installed security cameras. The whole situation still creeps me out. It feels like someone was secretly living part of my life without me knowing. But now that everything is out in the open, I'm trying to move forward. So tell me, am I the a hole